So I'm watching the Breakfast Club. They got Dr. Umar on there, and I'm a fan of Dr. Umar. I like Dr. Umar. And I would say I agree with him, probably about 80%. There's some things I don't rock with so far, but about 80% of the things that he says I'm on board with. That being said, the thing that sparked my interest to bring this rant to the table was the conversation of interracial dating. And for me, I kept thinking the same thing. No one ever talks about how these guys got to that level. How did they get to the point where, as they say in the hood, you messing with Becky? But I, being me and being a person been all around the globe and seen some things and done some things, had some personal experiences, I felt like I could really get to the point, get to the essence of why some black males wind up dating Becky, because y'all don't really tell us when you give the rants, when we hear the crazy conversations outside of the angry dudes that say that they hate y'all guts, being black women. Now, I am not a person that subscribes to that level of bullshit, because as much as I critique black women and women as a whole, because I have no problem critiquing men as a whole, because we all know that men do a bunch of dumb, idiotic behavior type shit. So I feel like everybody can be critiqued because everybody deserves it. If you're doing something stupid, that's on you. Right? Right. So I look out here and I see that, as a whole, no one ever talks about how these guys get to interracial dating. How did they get to that their level? And so in my mind, I said, well, look, let's throw out some information that is straightforward and truthful to get it started. Men are opportunists. That's all of them. And men are opportunists when it comes to fuck. You're pre-programmed to hop on anything you could hop on if the opportunity presents itself. Right? And then we bring up discipline and we talk about how you have to have some control, and we get all of that. But the variables change when you're talking about the atypical male learning to be a good man, to get to that street. And so on your journey to it, life has a way of pushing you in one way or another. And these men have been, in my estimation, sometimes harshly judged by Black America based on the fact of who they date. Because no one has ever asked them why or how that happened. They just assumed that you were one of those guys that said you hate anybody named Lakeisha. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't true. So let's get into it. So my first guy is the atypical guy most people talk about. Your athlete. And the athlete to me is probably the easiest, but no one pays attention. The athlete is normally the guy who your parents pushed you into some white school based on the fact that you could get a good education, and the school wanted you because you were a mutt of an athlete. You were super fast. You could catch the ball. You was dunking on people. Whatever you was doing, that school wanted to have you there because they knew your star was about to shine and they wanted some of that shine on them. It is what it is, right? But most people don't pay attention that these guys are then put in situations where now they're in around nothing but white people. And I'm not saying that to be bad against white people. I'm just saying, if you take a black male and you put him in a school where it's majority white people that are there, and he's the stud athlete, then you automatically know that he's going to be viewed as an alpha. And everybody knows that alpha males in 95% of the situations get the top picks of the chicks. And for a black dude, that's a hell of an ego to say that you get to pick from all of them. It's hard not to go for that. And I can see how you could be pushed off into that. And nobody thinks about it. And I've had women say to me, like, I don't understand why my son date white girls. And I'll be like, what? You sent him to Mr. Christian school over here on the side. They've been known to win state championships. Every black guy that's been a mutt that's done came out there and tried to get their hands on. That's where you sent him. And the population of black people there is like something like 12%. What do you expect? To me, I think that's really silly. Like, how do you not think he's going to date white women? They're the million that